I'll just start really by looking and focusing on the nation's grief. I know a lot of people are saying they're still in shock. They haven't quite processed it. I myself personally haven't either. People flooding to places like Buckingham Palace, to Windsor Castle, to Balmoral, to pay their respects. How on earth do you think the nation is going to come to terms with such a sad loss?
I think they'll come to terms with it over time. I don't think it's going to be a quick process. That's the issue, I think, with grief. Often people are robbed of that opportunity to grieve. We're told to get over the loss quickly and to move on and to get back to normal. But what actually happens when we go through the loss of someone we love is we change. We're different on the other side of it. And I think when it comes to losing a monarch, when it comes to losing somebody we all hold in high esteem and love and adore, it's something that we will gradually almost get used to. We'll get used to her not being here anymore. So it's not going to be something that happens overnight, and it's something that people will grieve for a very long time.
Talking of something that isn't going to happen overnight, presumably it's the grieving process of the royal family, the immediate family. I felt deeply, deeply, deeply sorry for the now King Charles and for the wider family as well. We had even the Fab Four walking around outside Windsor Castle yesterday. They don't seem to be given time to grieve. They are very much, in a sense, public property, and they've got to get on with everything that's going on around them, the order of events. How on earth are they going to deal with that?
I think they'll do it automatically. I think it's something that they're trained to do from birth, often, in the fact of being part of these ceremonial activities. Is it something that we are designed to do as humans? Certainly not. I think we are meant to take time to grieve, and unfortunately they're robbed of that opportunity to take that space initially. So I'm sure a lot of their grieving will be done after the funeral, and that's when I hope they'll allow themselves time and space to grieve, and I hope as a nation we'll allow them that space as well, where I'm already seeing on social media people commentating on how they feel people are acting and responding and what they're seeing in the news, and actually none of us can determine what they are doing in private. All we can do is make comment on it. But what is certainly necessary is for them and for us to take that time and to talk about how we're feeling, how our emotions are brewing within us. For many of us, the grief that we're experiencing won't be singular. It won't be just aimed at the monarch passing away. It will often trigger other grief and past grief. And so for many people, they'll feel so much emotion and they won't maybe understand why, because maybe they didn't follow the royal family and don't feel close to the institution of the monarch. However, they are grieving and they are feeling an abundance of emotion. And that could be because it's triggered past grief and unresolved grief, and maybe even grief connected to people that they've lost during COVID, where we haven't had that chance to gather together to grieve and to mourn.